Rush has been a staple mode within Battlefield ever since the days of Bad Company 2. The general concept of the mode is that one team attacks, one defends, and the attacking team has to take out 2 MCOMs before progressing further through the map to take out another couple until they finally get to the end couple, and then the match ends. Recent titles have seen the game mode dwindle to a point where not a lot of people play it, and that's down to lackluster map design and balance. The website for Battlefield 1 has been updated to show a few of the multiple modes available to play within the final release of Battlefield 1, and aside from the standard Conquest and Domination being listed, a new game mode called Operations has also been listed. The description reads, "Operations is a completely new way to experience Battlefield multiplayer, giving you the opportunity to fight on an entire front of the Great War. In a sequence of interconnected battles, a team of attackers attempts to conquer the ground and push the front line forward, as the defenders are trying to push them back. Should the defenders fail to hold their ground on a map, the operation doesn't stop here. They will fall back and regroup on a different map, while the attackers will push the assault. Sectors may fall, but players reinforced by gigantic behemoths can still turn the tide." So this is, essentially, an updated version of the Rush game mode tailored more specifically for the World War I era. Now let's quickly pause here and rewind about 18 months to a video I made called Beyond Hardline, where I took a look at all the possible time periods that Battlefield could potentially visit and discuss the appropriate adaptations that the game would have to make in order to fit in with the era. It turns out that my prediction of the World War II era wasn't that far off the truth, but listen to what I had to say about a certain game mode.
One of the most interesting game mode and map combinations that my friend gave me was D-Day and Rush. Now, whilst I don't think that planting bombs on MCOMs is a very lore-friendly game mode to have in a historical shooter, I do think that it could be adapted slightly to fit the theme. So, say for example, it was a cross between Rush and Conquest, where the teams had a linear line of objectives to capture on the map, and you had to capture them in order, and it was almost like the front line of the battle is shifting between each capture point depending on how well each team is fighting. Almost like chain link, but in a more linear fashion.
So there you have it. What I'm describing there is very similar to what Operations seems to be. The front line of the battle is moving forwards as the teams push up and fight to gain ground. How this ground is obtained is unclear as of yet. I highly doubt it's going to be MCOMs this time around, but maybe something like a flag capture point could be used in its place. Using something like this would mean that you could also draw some similarities from the Turning Point game mode in Star Wars Battlefront, which sees one team holding ground as another attempts to take area capture point in order to move the front line of the battle further back. In fact, I'd expect this game mode to play out incredibly similarly, if that makes sense, to that, with the main difference being that this mode takes place over multiple maps. You can't really get a battle of a larger scale than an entire continent, which is exactly what will happen if the game starts out in the Italian coast and moves all the way up to the French cities and villages. I wouldn't expect the transition between the maps to be seamless though. Instead, I think we'll see something like we have in the Control game mode for Overwatch, where each individual map plays host to a single round, with a small loading screen splitting them up between map transitions. Another thing that isn't completely unclear is how long the matches of this game mode are meant to last. Is it going to be a 20 to 30 minute battle before moving on to the next map, or is it going to be a shorter 6 or 7 minute round so that all the maps combined total a match time of 20 to 30 minutes like a standard match would last? I'm kind of hoping that DICE decide to go for 20 to 30 minute battles per map before moving forward, because then it gives you more of a sense of investment in the battle. You've worked hard on this map for half an hour helping your team advance through the enemy lines. You feel like you should continue on to the next map in order to support your team again. So whilst this game mode won't be suited for those quick games where you can just jump on if you have a spare 20 minutes for a quick game, it will suit those players who are in there for the long haul. If they have enough time to spare, they want to feel invested in their team and the work that they are doing to win the match. This concept is very, very exciting to me. So what do you think? Does this sound like a Rush remake that you could get behind, or does it all sound a little bit too ambitious and too good to be true? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I shall catch you in another video.